Good morning, Susan. How are you?
Very well, very well. Thank you, Vivian. Nice to see you again.
Nice to see you too. So today we have the pleasure of welcoming Susan, who is the CEO of ATE. And may I say, the first female CEO of ATE. Hongera sana.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay. So today we're at the Vodacom offices, and the purpose for this particular podcast is really to just say thank you in terms of the partners that we have. We're celebrating 25 years of Vodacom, and it's such an honor to have you.
What a pleasure, Vivian. Yeah, thank you. When you made the call, and then I said, okay, I'll adjust myself to make sure that I make an appearance. And congratulations for 25 years, Vodacom. And guess what? Vodacom has been a member of the Association of Tanzania Employers since 2002.
Oh, wow.
So guess what? When you were 2 years old, we met. We met.
That is so cool. So 23 years with ATE.
23 years. Can you imagine the journey that we have gone through together?
Yeah.
You know, as an employer organization that has the voice of employers in Tanzania, businesses in different sectors of the economy. We are mandated under the Employment and Labor Relations Act, working with the government and the trade unions in all matters of making sure that there is a conducive business environment in terms of policies and laws and many other aspects that you know about, and me and you have had quite a number of encounters, not only in Vodacom, but in another space that you were. Yes.
No, now that you talk about policies, it's interesting. I remember the days when you really worked hard around skills levy. If we look at work permits in terms of that, do you want to talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, the journey, you remember, Vivian, you know, skills development levy, just for the interest of the audience, you know, skills development levy, this is the levy that the employer has to contribute, you know, every month out of the wage bill, but there are conditions and exceptions to it on how to contribute on the skills development levy. But before, you remember, it was 6% of the wage bill. And then because we are talking about conducive business environment, you know, our job was to tell the government it is increasing the cost of doing business. You know, in advocating for policy change, figured from 6%, then it went to 4.5%, you know, and then it went down to 3.5%. So we have been on that journey for quite a while, you know, but, you know, where we are now, we are still, it is our hope that it goes to 2%. You know, we know that it's going to reduce the cost of doing business in Tanzania, but the objectives, you know, are well known that, you know, to support skills development in Tanzania, something that the government is putting, is actually working hard to making sure that the skills in Tanzania can also be used not only in country but outside. And you've been sharing with me how Vodacom has done very well in terms of skilling the employees, and now you say they're actually very much sought after even in other markets of
yes. At the moment, I could say over the last 3 years we've had 63 Tanzanians who've gone out to different markets, and others have permanent jobs. So you're talking about Ireland, UK, South Africa, Lesotho, Ethiopia. So all the different markets that we're present, we do have employees who go there. But the interesting thing as well is that it's not just about us exporting. We actually have people who come to
importing skills.
Yes, exactly, importing. And then most of the time people may think that we have so many expatriates. We only have 2 actually, compared to the number of people that we sent out.
I remember the days when we used to call me even much late. You know, talking about this, you know, the stress around it, you know, around the law, you know. Yeah, a few years back, you know, it was quite difficult, but I think we do understand why the government was doing what it was doing in making sure that the Tanzanians getting the right jobs, but also getting the jobs within the country. But you know, I've not heard you talking about those problems anymore.
No,
you don't call for that.
It's much easier now. It's very, very easy. The process is faster. One of the things that I must applaud our government is the fact that they've gone automation is really good. So a lot of the things are very, very simple, very easy, and very straightforward as well. So it's been quite a good journey.
And guess what? We did that, Ate. We did.
Thank you,
we did that.
Yes.
Because you were talking about cost of doing business. When the government moved into Dodoma, and at that time, you remember you had to go to Dodoma and put in the papers, sending them and go and follow up. how many trips would you make? So it was adding not only paying for the fees, but also time consumption. You know, instead of you sitting in the office and doing the work. So, but then technology, and we're here with the Vodacom, technology has actually capacitated all these things. I try to talk to the young people to say technology does not necessarily have to be bad, and I know that they're much forward than us.
Yes.
You know, there's a lot to learn from them.
Yes.
You know, sometimes I struggle a bit.
I know. So it just reminds me of the intergenerational people that we have working in the workforce. So like now we have the youngest person at 23, the oldest is about 60. And so just ensuring that there's that accommodation of the different generations and how people work. So if we look at things around skills, for example, so one of the things that we're very proud of is really in terms of the skills development that we have.
Yeah.
And so we've partnered with MIT, we've partnered with Skillsoft and Harvard Business School as well, where our employees are able to get all the different learnings online. Now, the beauty of that is that they get badges and also, and it's actually compulsory that everybody has to do Gen AI e-learning within the organization, because right now AI is something that has come to us. It's like, remember the days when we had Y2K and everybody thought the world was going to come to an end.
Imagine, and then we were going to turn out to be zombies.
I know. And then, but look at what computers have done to us. So it's just like when people talk about Gen AI, when they talk about AI is actually here to help us. It makes life so much easier. People become so creative. So if you look at the type of creativity that comes through, the type of thinking and all, it makes work so much easier, allowing more people to become more creative. Because AI, for example, it's like garbage in, garbage out.
Yeah.
If you put in good information, it will generate good information. So the whole thing around the creativity, ideation and all, you still need that human mind to come through, is something that we encourage a lot.
No, Vivian, I really appreciate you talking about that. And as you were speaking, in my mind was, you know, racing around many things. And then I would like to be educated a bit on maybe for the interests of other employers as well.
Yeah.
There you have mentioned about different generations in
Yes.
Vodacom,
Yeah.
from 23 to 60.
Yeah.
I am sure managing different directions, you as a director of HR, is not an easy thing.
No.
So there's give and take. There's, you know, managing different and issues of ageism. I don't know how they happen. They happen somewhere else, and you as we hear as a complaints as well.
Yeah.
You know, I would love to hear on the part of AI. Because you are talking about upskilling with the
Yes.
training that you're doing.
Yeah.
You know, you are
Yeah.
upskilling the workforce so that they can match up to it. But let's talk about the dangers, you know, that are around it. As much as we are embracing it, and we should, because technology is changing, it's changing rapidly. And for me, I remember during COVID,
Yep.
we all sat at home,
Yep.
the world was shattered.
Yep.
We sat at home not knowing what to do. The phone calls on my phone, I tell you, businesses has to continue, people have to work. What helped us to continue? Businesses, I mean, technology.
True. Yeah.
I don't remember if I knew anything about Zoom before then, but
It became popular.
it became very popular.
Yes.
Virtual working,
Yes.
flexi working hours,
Yes.
and we even developed policies
Yeah.
and all that. But my question to you would be around data protection. We know about the Data Protection Act.
Yes.
What kind of, maybe what challenges do you see around,
Yeah.
you know, AI and the issues of data protection? And how is Vodacom protecting stuff?
Yeah. So I think one of the things is that it's not just about technology. Everything that we do is important in terms of protecting the data, first of ourselves, of our customers, of employees. All of that is really important. Now, the beauty is that, again, I'll go back to culture in terms of ensuring that customer is first, and the customer could either be an external customer or even an internal customer as employees. So we have a very strong cybersecurity unit that ensures that no hacking, nothing actually happens with that. The way we process our data also is processed in a very, very conducive manner. But most importantly is the partnership as well, that we have a department that just deals with privacy and data protection as well. So in conjunction and in working closely with different bodies, be it government bodies or private bodies, coming and formulating up policies that actually enhance and ensure that the data privacy protection is there, because we do have our policies. We do ensure that that is important, because privacy is really, really important. Yes, very, very important. And one of the things is that you'll even see in phones and what have you, you have to give consent. Are you happy with your information or your data being shared, etc.? And it goes as far as even when you're doing recruitment. When you're recruiting an individual, how are you ensuring that their data is kept confidentially, the information that is there as well? You've interviewed a person, the information that is shared, because remember, even the people that are being interviewed, they also work for an employer.
Yeah.
And you have to make sure that their data is put confidentially as well. So likewise, those are things that we ensure that, and we hold quite dearly, ensuring that we protect the privacy of our customer information, our employee information as well. Yeah. Okay.
You know, I'm really glad that we are talking about it, because, you know, it's important to be aware, and especially that we encourage employers to register themselves with the Data Protection Center, and making sure first you comply, because before you know it, you could get yourself into and when you are dealing with customers, you are dealing with so many people, and you don't know, if you're not really aware, you will find yourself in court because you did not ask for permission. So it's always important to actually ask for permission. And for us as an employer organizations, we advocate for that, you know, for compliance of the law, but also for employers to be mindful, you know, when you are working with other people, when you are working in business with other people, and you have events, and, you know, in the course of business, just be mindful to make sure that you are actually in compliance, and the people that you are dealing with, they do understand. Oh, they have actually accented.
Yes. Yeah. So the beauty is that with us is that all the contracts that we have as well, any contract that we give out, we make sure that that clause is actually there in terms of ensuring that. So now moving on to our 25 years, which we are super, super excited about. One of the things is that we came into the market as Vodacom. We continue to operate as Vodacom. And I must say a very big thank you to Ate in terms of the different collaborations. For us, you asked a question around the intergenerational part of it. And I think one of the things that is imperative for us is our culture. Our culture is one where we have 4 behaviors. We call them spirits, because that's really in terms of how you're feeling coming to work. So our spirit behaviors are experiment and learn fast. How can you experiment and learn quickly from it? The other one is create the future. So every time you're thinking, how do I create the future? The other one is really working together. How do you make sure that you get it done together? Those are things that are really, really important for us. And so with that, you will then appreciate the open door policies that we have. A lot of the time is, when I say create the future, you have that autonomy to be able to be creative, bring something different in terms of how you operate. And that's why we're really proud. A lot of the things that we've put out there, fast in market fast, it's because we give and allow for that creativity. So we have what we call agile, the manner in which we work. The agile methodology breaks down hierarchies, which then ensures that everything, speed to market is faster. In every 2 weeks, you do sprints to the next, to the next, to the next, just ensuring that we're getting people working as fast as possible. And people actually adapt. And so we also do voice of our staff, which we call it Spirit Results. And Vodacom Tanzania, amongst all the other Vodafones, we're #1. Thanks as well.
That's congratulations to you.
Thank you. We also have been participating in Top Employer 8 years in a row as well, #1, which we're very, very proud of. But then, to be honest and to be fair, we can never do these things alone. You have to have partners, whether it's within the organization, outside the organization. And that's why I thought it was really important that we have this conversation, because Ate has played such a big role. Right now, one of your signature programs, Female Future. Tell us about this Female Future. How did it start? What inspired you guys to actually come up with it?
How could you not even mention it? Yes, you know, I knew that was coming because I think you have 43 participants since the program started in 2016, actually, in Tanzania, and now actually it's operating in 6 or 7 countries in Africa. I think we received it third. You know, it was in Uganda, Kenya, then Tanzania. Right now it is in Ghana and Jordan. You know, yes, it is also in Jordan. And I think soon there were other markets that our partners, NHO, this is Norwegian Enterprise of Employers, that was a confederation of employers that we're in partnership with. But as you also know, that we're in partnership with the SAMI. The objectives of the program is to making sure that women in middle level and senior management, they get right skills. We don't say they don't have skills. We enhance their skills and strengthen their skills to acquire leadership positions. Because so when Vivian, you're sitting within Vodacom and looking around to say who is going to be a middle manager in a certain portfolio, you should be able to look within, because leadership encompasses a lot of things into it, you know, other than the technical job, but what comes with it, you know, there's a lot of things comes into it, the calmness and, you know, making decisions, there's speaking and communication and many other aspects. And at this point, we have trained probably 600 to 700, you know, including, of course, the members of parliament.
Nice.
We had done the program with the members of parliament in the National Assembly, you know, in mainland, and also the House of the Representative in Zanzibar. And just the most important, the program was launched by Her Excellency, you know, Samia Suluhu Hassan, you know, in 2016. And this year, the Female Future Program celebrated 10 years.
Oh, congratulations.
And we were so honored to have Her Excellency, you know, gracing the event. You missed it, but, you know, Vodacom was there, well represented, and your team was there. You know, most of the ladies had graduated this year, and we have, you know, cohort 11 is ongoing now. You know, they will soon be sitting for the exam. There is an exam. So the modules of the program is leadership, rhetoric, and board competence. Leadership in terms of the whole aspects of leadership, and then rhetoric, which is communication. As a leader, you should communicate, but also learning the, you know, the tricks and what of communication, but also the board competence on how to manage boards, because we prepare them to actually sit in boards and encourage them. So even if you're not sitting in a board, but at least managing meetings and knowing what happens between board meetings, what kind of decisions need to be made. So when you're having a board meeting, Vodacom, somebody should know, okay, I think these are the aspects of it. But you know, when you were speaking earlier, you were touching on agile leadership. Yes. And I see value and culture being a very important part of, you know, in organizations. But most importantly, you said you capacitate younger people to take roles and actually be at the forefront. You know, so innovation comes part of it. You know, and how are these younger people taking on these roles? You know.
So what it is that we actually, oh God, there's so many opportunities that we do. So we could start with, maybe I'll start from the grassroots. So one of the things we do have is we have a program called Code Like a Girl, which is actually centered around girls between the ages of 14 to 18. So we introduce them to STEM subjects so that they're able to want to do STEM subjects and choose those when they're in secondary school. We also then do bursaries as well at university for those who are not able to pay for their school fees. And with this here, it doesn't matter in terms of gender. But one of the other things that is imperative for us is the graduate trainee program. So we have a rigorous process that we go through to actually hire people through the graduate trainee program. We also have internships, field attachments from all sorts of universities and colleges around Tanzania. So once we give somebody an opportunity within the organization, we really focus a lot on skills, And if somebody has the right skills, because it's really skills, knowledge, talent, somebody has the talent, the skills and all, you give them that opportunity to then go and do what they need to do. So you find that the different portfolios that we have are managed by the younger generation as well. We have, of course, a balance. You have young, you have all sorts of different generations, and that's the beauty. Each generation brings a different mix to things, and the blend of all worlds just becomes so powerful. Focusing on only one generation is not good as well. So it's good to have that balance between all of those particular generations. But the fact, to answer the question, is that trust. As long as you give somebody the trust and the autonomy, they know very well that these are the boundaries, this is how far I can actually go. Creativity comes in. But when you put people in boxes, the creativity then just disappears. But when you're giving someone an open white canvas to say, draw and do what you need to do, it does that. So, and it's small things that we do. Even we have what we call Bring Your Child to Work. We've done this for over 10 years, where we get our children to come to the offices, and all different age groups, we do different activities, introduce them to AI, engineering, all sorts of different things. And with that, they get attracted to want to come and work with us. And even if they don't want to come and work with us, whatever part of the industry within Tanzania, we know that the economies are then going to be improved, affected by the people that are coming to actually work. And I think one of the things for us that is really important also is that it's good to see that whatever it is that we're placing out there. Because when you go to school, even the people who are in school today, to be honest, it's that by the time they finish graduating, the type of jobs that are going to be there are going to look so different from what it is. I myself, you yourself, what we're doing this year is very different from what we did last year. So I think what is important is really in terms of the skill. Once somebody has the right skills, then you're able to explore and do different things. So one of the things we had looked at is we looked at future skills, and based on the future skills, we chose 14 future skills that we've been focusing on. And with those skills, we continue to enhance, recruit from that, but also build, because you can either build, borrow, buy. So a lot of it is building internally, ensuring that people are developing from one area to the other, ensuring that you know how to go with the trends, because you don't want to be left behind.
Now, it's really appreciate that information, and I think it's there's so much to learn. And I like the fact when you say bring your child to school and to work. And I think it's good for the kids to see what our parents where are they really doing, and to see the workplace. You know, whatever in their minds, what do they think about what happens in these stores. And this is where internship and apprenticeship programs are very important. It's part of the skills development. You know, it's part of the skills development. When we give young people and we advocate for employers to be taking up, you know, universities and graduate, you know, into their workplace, not necessarily to learn the job that we're doing, but how does the workplace look like? You know, when you go in the office in the morning, how does it look like? You know, for them to go back and say, okay, I think I don't want to be a lawyer. You know what I mean? You know, I don't want to be a lawyer, or I want to be a lawyer, but I don't want to do litigation because I have to appear in a certain way. Because, you know, there's court attire. You know, somebody else would say, I don't want to have the court attire wearing black and white and a certain way every day. You know, they could choose a different path. Or say, I think I want to do photographing. You know? Oh, I'll take this as a job. So congratulations to Vodacom, and I know other employers would also. But so when we are talking about skills development, and I would like to speak about vocational training. You know, and we know that the education policy has actually really worked around the issues of vocational training and making sure that, you know, we impact vocational skills to our young ones. You know, and that is actually working out well. And for us at ATE, we have a program that we do with vocational institutes, you know, VETA, Don Bosco, and with our partners in Denmark, where we have trained 1,008 students in VETA and Don Bosco around fitter mechanics, refrigeration, hospitality trainings, and, you know, hotel management. And hands-on skills, just if a younger person finishing the vocational training, they can just get a job maybe in a hotel and being in service industry.
Yeah.
You know, we have a program to be a little bit early to talk about, but we have a program coming up called Girls in Technology.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So we will come and, you know, as always, we do partnership. We'll come back and talk about it more when we've really cooked it and ready to launch.
Okay, good. One of the things that I find interesting is that, so with us, we have what we call a Women Network Forum, and because the focus was so much women, and we have to have that balance. So we also have a Men Network Forum within the organization.
Nice.
And it's one of those where it's beautiful to then see that you have different genders exploring the different challenges that they face in life, the different things, and how to appear also at work. So we have that balance as well, just ensuring that both parties are all heard, because you can't go without a man as well. So both ways. So we make sure
we
that
need
we
to
have
support each other, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, supporting each other. And I don't, as I tell the female future women, it is not work-life balance. You can never balance it. You just have to integrate.
Exactly.
That's what
integration is important.
Yeah. Bringing your child to work, and which Vodacom, I know you do it very well on issues of maternity protection. Yes. How do you do that on maternity protection?
So with maternity, so there's a couple of things. So there's one of the things in our offices, we make sure that we have maternity rooms. So when somebody has gone out and had their baby, they can also come do nursing and all. And the nursing is not just for the women, even the men can come. Sometimes you find somebody has to take their child to clinic or even to school, pick them up from school, but they still need to pass by the office. There's a room, they can have their children there. One of the things as well is that maternity that we give is quite big. So it's 4 months of that. We also have what we call paternity also.
How long?
Oh, yes. So over a period of 2 years, a gentleman can actually ensure that they take chunks of 2 weeks each, up to almost 3 months in terms of that. So that there's that balance as well, because also the lady maybe is working, or maybe even the gentleman would like to spend more time. So the leave is there. Someone can decide to use it or not use it, but then we've made sure that the opportunity is there for all. So I guess that brings us to the end. There's so much to talk about.
I know.
It's been 25 years at Vodacom celebration, 23 years with Ate as a partner. We are truly, truly grateful for what you do with us, for us. You're always a phone call away. And the beauty about Ate that I love is the fact that you look at things across different industry and not just telecommunications. When we meet, we share different ideas from different industries, and you always put the employers first, given the changes that your office has actually done. And to be honest, kudos to you and your team for being the voice of the employer as well. And eventually the employees actually benefit from that also. So asanteni sana, sana, sana. Ate and Suzanne, thank you so much for always being the one person who cares about her customers.
Asante sana, Viviane, and thank you for inviting us. Congratulations to Vodacom for very, very good 25 years, and it's nice to hear about everything that you have actually been doing, and especially impacting the lives of the younger people.
Asante sana, asante sana.